spring of next year when the shift of the ages takes place. So it's best to not listen to the news. It's best to, at this point, just don't take anything negative and understand that the light has won and that Prime Creator Source is now in command. Because another thing that people fail to understand is that the Hyperboreans, our original ancestors, guys, are the equivalent of the original eternal race that comes from the Mother Central Universe. It is them represented. They are represented on a planetary level, and that's why they exist at the center of our Earth. And they are beings that have actually access to all 12 dimensions. So we could say that Zeus was actually the fifth dimensional representative of Michael the Archangel. And that explains why the Holy Grail, the descendants of the White Hats, right? The Kennedys, Princess Diana, what's his name, Trump. They all come from that same lineage. They all come from the lineage of Zeus, And guess who the giants are working for? Enki. Yeah. So if we read how the Nephilim were an abomination, and that explains the flood, well, that corresponds to the return of Enki, right? Well, Enki has his entourage, which are those sleeping giants, and even Michael Sala's team, who has totally been compromised by Enki, are pushing them. They're pushing. Yeah, they're talking about the giants, but they're talking about them being some sort of like a benevolent and part of Enki's entourage, which means it's they represent the Antichrist.
Wow. There it is, Kristen. There it is, Soul Tribe. Hot content being dropped this Sunday evening by the commander himself, Ismael Perez. Kristen, before we kind of turn the page a little bit, no pun intended to Janine, do you have any questions for Ismael regarding this particular topic?
Not at this time, but I find it very interesting, for sure. Yeah. It's going to get pretty wild, for sure.
Here's a question, Ismael, coming from real-world witness Chrissy. She wants to know, is the Great Pyramid of Giza placed on the center of the Earth? And do pyramids play a part moving into the fifth or the 5D dimension?
Yes, of course. The pyramids play a huge part in this because they're actually the capstone. The significance of the capstone not being activated represents the Earth's re-entry into a multi-dimensional level of reality where the Earth will once again be connected through a cosmic current to all the 12 dimensions. So there's going to be actually various positive timelines. There's going to be a fifth dimensional timeline, there's going to be an eighth dimensional timeline, and a 12th dimensional timeline. So there's going to be 3 parallel Earths. And depending on people's vibrational frequency, they're going to get to ascend beyond the fifth dimensional Earth. So the Great Pyramid is symbolically speaking, when the shift takes place, that means that the capstone will be once again illuminating. In other words, it'll be like and that's what's going to make the Earth shine like a jewel throughout the multiverse. It's that capstone.
I love it, Ishmael. I love it. Kristen, I love it, Soul Tribe. It sounds I'm telling you, this is going to be epic as we move into the end of December into 2023. Ismael Perez is dropping hot content tonight as it pertains to what is going on with the Galactic Federation and the events that are about to occur with Earth and as we move and ascend into the dimensions and beyond. Absolutely fascinating stuff, Ishmael. Talking about, let's kind of talk about blood types really quick. And I am still wanting to ask about Yoel Roth as well as Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, stepping down. We are going to get to those current events after we hit some of these questions from our Soul Tribe. So here is one from Tony Plant. She says, I watched Janine and she never said O was Anunnaki. She said it was very old, original Earth people with strong constitution. I can't put words into Janine's mouth. I haven't seen it. She is also O blood group. I found that show to be really interesting. So Queen of Ravens, shout out to her. She has done a show. Could you talk a little bit about blood types, Ishmael? Here's another one from Tony Plant. She says, hi, Soul Tribe. I would like to know if negative blood group is a natural or designed physiology with the origin of stopping or blood breeding with, plus as negative blood types have to avoid miscarriage. So, Ishmael, I would let you go ahead and have the open mic if you want to talk a little bit about blood types. And then I'll go ahead and let you, just like I said, have the floor. This seems to be a pretty hot topic with the Soul Tribe. Does our blood type indicate anything significant and that's coming from Starshine17. So, Ishmael, I'll go ahead and let you have the mic on this topic of blood types.
All right, so every root race connects with every other root race. The original root race was an etheric root race that was very spiritual, not yet rooted in matter, nor organic form. And they were known as the Polarian root race. They set the blueprint, the spiritual blueprint for all the other root races to follow. So we could say that the Rh negative blood type is traceable to the original angelic human race, which again goes back to the age of Hyperboreans, the original golden age. And that explains why they have always been the guardians of the tree of life. Because, we hear about two trees, right? In all ancient manuscripts, we hear about the tree of good and evil and the tree of good of life.
Yes.
So going back to the blood type, the O negative, which is the universal donor, is actually a blood type that was uncorrupted and undiluted when Enki, the master geneticist, did his shenanigans during the times of Atlantis. And that explains why for thousands of years the Rh negative blood type, with O being the most universal, meaning the most high concentration of celestial genetics, has existed through a lineage. Again, a lineage going back to the original demigods, going back to the line of King David, and then later it's translated as the Holy Grail. So the difference is that those that are Rh negative is that they don't have the rhesus monkey protein, which means they don't have the primitive gene. And now it has multiplied to become 12 to 13% of the world population, whereas before it was just it went through just one family. But after the crucifixion, Mary Magdalene did have two children, by the way, and I believe that bloodline proliferated when they went to France. And that explains the role of the Black Madonna, which has nothing to do with skin color. It was all about the hidden what? Matriarch, the one who gave us, which now we have up to 12 to 13%. Thanks to the proliferation of that bloodline, now 13% of the world population are Rh negative. So it goes back, again, to the race of immortals. It's an uncorrupted, undiluted strain that was left intact thanks to Zeus, who was also Enlil to the Sumerians, who was left intact in the original Hebrew people. And that's why I went through the 12 tribes of Israel. And then, of course, the highest concentration of that lineage went through King David and Solomon. And then, of course, Jesus was born into that lineage. Mary Magdalene was part of the same lineage. And then throughout the Dark Middle Ages, they were known as the Holy Grail lineage.
Yes. That makes sense, and it's very interesting, Ishmael, how you break it down with the different timelines going all the way back. I love it. We could spend forever talking about the bloodlines, Kristen. Ishmael, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to say one last thing. Somebody also asked in that question about taking this Rogan shot, right? When an Rh negative blood type mother conceives an Rh positive baby, the body sees it as foreign. So I think it's required for them to take a shot called Rogan in order for them to not kill the fetus. And this is typical of mothers who are Rh negative and who are giving birth to, or going to be giving birth to kids who are Rh positive. They have to take the shot, otherwise the fetus does not make it, because they're seen as two different species. And I don't really know how that is, but I guess it makes perfect sense when you think about it.
Very interesting.
Yeah.
Ishmael, here I was looking at the chat too, and I do want to ask maybe a personal question after this one. Is it possible to have your blood type changed after you have been born?
Oh, absolutely.
And how could that possibly take place? Is it through the foods we eat, chemtrails, dark deep cult, entertainment purposes only, of course, but not really? Kind of maybe walk us through that just briefly. And Kristen, I just had to mute your mic because of the sirens behind you.
The sirens are wild today, yeah.
Maybe walk us through that, possibly
sure.
having your blood type changed.
Okay, so it in some cases, not in most cases, people that are not taking care of themselves due to the contamination of the food supply, the chemtrails, everything, right? The shampoos that they use, that actually, the nanotechnology that is invading people's bodies are actually altering the blood type. And that's how it's taking place through nanotech. Nanotech is nothing new, guys. It's something that the entire universe has been fighting for millions of years. But that's how they're able to change species from within. And that is how this alien AI, known as the Animus, has been conquering worlds. They don't do it externally. They do it from within. They take over the organic bodies. They convert the organic into an inorganic. And then that's when they connect them to the Borg mine. And so, or the Borg hive, rather. So it's all done through AI, by the way. That's how they change the blood type, and that's what they're trying to do with the mark of the beast. They're trying to alter people's blood type again, because that's what they do. Where it is a war against the blood, guys, because there's life force. There's magical properties in our blood. There is. So it is a war against genetics. Ultimately, what it boils down to is a war against the organic way of life. That's what it boils down to.
That's a great way to put it. That is a very, very simplistic and dynamic way to put it. It's a war against the organic way of life. Yeah. And like we said on all of our shows, or at least the very first one about that, we have the God gene, and that's exactly what the AI wants. We are divine. We have that divine God gene, and that's exactly what they are after. Damn, Ismael, you are making this so simple, but yet like making a complex situation. You're explaining it very well to our soul tribe, and they absolutely love it. Kristen, any follow-up questions for Ismael regarding blood types?
I think we got the gist of it, but yeah, very interesting, and it's just amazing how you know all this like that. So awesome. Yeah, the soul tribe loving it. So I think we should let the soul tribe ask their questions for sure.
They're doing a great job asking the questions. Keep them coming on. We've had Ismael on for about 30 minutes. Ismael, here's a little, if you want to answer it, that's fine. If you don't, we don't have to. I don't know if I heard it on a previous interview, but did you say that your father is a star seed and your mom was not a star seed? Or could you maybe explain your lineage of being a star seed?
I believe my mother was the star seed because my mother comes from royal blood. Okay. She comes from pure, undiluted O negative, AB negative. I think it's O negative. And I don't really know much about my father's blood type. But I do know that because of the way I was conceived, my mother was, how can I say it? From her womb as a fetus, I was genetically upgraded constantly. I was edited, I was involved in like some sort of, by the benevolent forces, of course, to develop an ultra super soldier weapon in the future against AI. So I don't really know how the details of it. All I know is that I was, because of my mom's heavy concentration of her blood type and her mitochondria level being so high, which is the powerhouse of the cell, which is equivalent to in Star Wars what they call midichlorians. Her and like I think 51 other women were picked to conceive a child that was going to be that was going to have genetics of the celestials, of the different celestial species out there, put in one spot. I don't know if that makes any sense, but.
That does make sense, and I apologize for getting it flipped. That's very interesting when it comes to that. So I've seen you in person, and Soul Tribe, he is absolutely the real deal when it comes to being a star seed for sure. We saw Ismael at the Truther event, me and Kristen, as well as my little star seed. She saw him as well. So absolutely, Ismael Perez, the real deal. This is where I kind of want to go next. The King of Cups has a question, then we're going to get into kind of the news that is current right now. Dennis, King of Cups, says, it has been determined that the Esseni mysticism came from Atlantis. We pulled cards on this previously on our last show, Ismael, and that's what we got. Did it originate there, or was it from off-world?
Oh, it originated in Atlantis. Yeah. Okay. Yes, so definitely. Yes. And also the ancient Druids and the ancient Celtics, they were different branches of the Essenes. So they were known as, and they are known as the Brotherhood of Light. And those were the keepers and guardians of the ancient mystery schools.
Perfect. Well said. Well, Kristen, it's collaborating and correlating with the cards that you had pulled on Friday's show. Very interesting, Soul Tribe. Very interesting. Great question, Dennis. All right, so here we are. We're going to go right into the news. Let me go ahead and pull up my screen.
Bringing down the whatever is left of the Cabal, infrastructure. So at the highest level of the Cabal, yes, we do have the World Health Organization as well as Big Tech, because they are all working with AI, the negative AI that we're all fighting, on an interdimensional level. And so the fact that they're stepping down is not really necessarily that they're stepping down, it's that they've been arrested.
I love it.
Yeah, and also Dr. Doom is next, as well as the big dudes. And also the guy behind the metaverse. His name starts with an M, and his last name starts with a Z as in zebra. I don't want to mention it.
I think we know. All right, so we'll go ahead and say it right now. Ismael had said this back in June when we first had him on Father's Day, that the first major arrest that will shock the world will be Dr. F. And we know it's Fauci. And then we know entertainment purposes only, of course, but not really, the big Gates. And we're not talking about Melinda, even though she is a part of it. We're talking about Will or Bill Gates.
Right.
He is also going to be in there as well. We are still on that timeline. Ismael is not wavering. We are going to see some hot water coming for Dr. Fauci, the son of Father Teresa, if you know what we mean, Soul Tribe. Father Teresa, Anthony Fauci. Entertainment purposes only, of course, but not really. I believe that it's already has happened. They are just kind of coming out in the open, in the public, as this is unfolding in this movie. What's going to be the next step for Pfizer? Ismael, are they going to just go ahead and terminate? Is there going to be some kind of crimes against humanity kind of determined and brought out into the open as it pertains to Pfizer and Big Pharma?
Absolutely. Everything's going to be revealed. All the hidden deaths that they've been, covering up, all the different blood clots, all the different abnormal secondary effects that are now happening to hundreds of thousands. And I think it's now at 1 million or 2 million.
Wow.
All that stuff is going to be revealed. The truth about, what's in the mark of the beast will come out in the open. And that's what's going to shock the normies or those that are still asleep.
Yeah.
It's going to be about Big Pharma and more specifically about the medicine that they were trying to force onto us.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah.
Kristen, any follow-up questions for Ismael as it pertains to Albert Bourla, the CEO of Pfizer, stepping down, Dr. Fauci, anything that you would like to share with the Soul Tribe or with Ismael this evening?
I feel it's all about to go down to them. Yeah, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
We are expecting a big tower moment for sure, and kind of staying along kind of the same lines as it pertains to, let's just call it the Supreme Court. They have a big case that they are going to be hearing on January 6, 2023. They're going to make a kind of a decision. Ismael, I want to get your take on this. Are we going to see Brandon step down, exit left, and then also what about his son of a Brandon, and his laptop from hell? Maybe if you want to just talk a little bit about Brandon and the son of a Brandon.
Due to the gravity and severity of what is in that laptop, which is not only treason, but it's an abomination to humanity. They were actually, not only are they going to be stepping down, but they're going to be executed.
Entertainment purposes only, of course, but not really, Ismael. I love it. Keep on going.
So that's what I foresee, and that's what they're telling me as well. It's going to be severe. It's going to be severe for these people. We're not talking about an arrest. We're not talking about here, guys. These guys have been playing you guys, and these villains are not good. It's about justice, guys. So justice is going to play out. So we're going to be experiencing some good things.
I love it. Ismael. We are expecting. Yeah, go ahead.
Well, I just wanted to say, and also the good guys are getting ready to roll out all the, types of healing modalities that they have been using within the private sector. So we're also going to see a huge transition in the AMA and pharmaceutical shifting from that to the new medicine when this all, when this whole thing comes out.
Right. Absolutely.
Yes.
Could we kind of get your take? The last time we had you on, 45 was still banned from Twitter. Elon Musk has now taken over Twitter and has reinstated the account of 45. Now, there has been some speculation that Elon Musk is a dark hat or he's playing both sides. Ismael, what is your take on Elon Musk right now? He's doing unprecedented things with his release of Twitter Files 1, Twitter Files 2. He's releasing some information. Kind of, what is your take with with Elon Musk and Twitter and the information that is pouring out from Twitter just in the last couple of weeks?
Okay, so there's two Elon Musk. The White Hats, the Alliance actually cloned him and made him good, just like Putin, by the way. There used to be a bad Putin, now we have a good Putin, thanks to the Alliance. So the old Elon Musk is working with AI in the development of Neuralink, right, to eventually hook us up to the Borg. or to interfaces with technology, where technology becomes part of our bodies. However, the new Elon Musk that is now that was developed, that was created by the Alliance, is actually a good guy. So there's two of them now. There's two of them.
Okay, so we have the good the good Ishmael. The good Ishmael's always good. If we have the good Elon Musk right now on this Earth plane, what happened to the bad Elon Musk?
Oh well, when the solar flash takes place, he's going to be nuked because he's already a cyborg. The original Elon Musk is already integrated with technology. He's you could say that the neural lace that he's been developing through Neuralink, he's been the one who has been using it already in secret. So that's why they had to make a new Elon Musk. And that explains why he's reinstating Trump's account, because this new one is actually working for the Alliance. So it's interesting the way these interdimensional forces work with the ground crew.
That makes complete sense, Christian. That makes complete sense of what we've been getting and what the Soul Tribe has been saying.
Yeah, the cards are right then. That's awesome. I'll take it.
So we have, because Elon is dropping hot content as it pertains to the son of a Brandon, as well as reinstating a lot of other truther accounts for that information to get out. And he's still not done. He's still not done with all this information coming out about the shadow banning and other things that Twitter has been having their hands on as it pertains to how we go and vote and their manipulation of that. Ishmael, I think I kind of jumped topics. When it comes to the Supreme Court of the United States, and they're going to be hearing that case from Brunson on January 6th, can you maybe give us some insight? What is your opinion on the Supreme Court's ruling on that Brunson case?
I think it's going to be in favor of the White Hats, the way things are going now. Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. And how do you foresee this kind of coming out, Ishmael? Are you going to see Brandon step down, 45 reinstated? How do you think this is going to play in the timeline?
Like I said, there's going to be different timelines, but in one timeline, yes, the guys in the office step down, the good guys come in. In another timeline, there is a reversal pull where it automatically shifts us into a higher dimensional Earth where all the ancient civilizations are there. So it all depends, but each and every single one of those timelines is actually a positive timeline. So in either case, however it goes down, guys, the dark age is over. We're going to be entering a new age. And in this new age, mankind will be uplifted. Mankind will no longer be, suppressed or oppressed.
Yeah.
I love it, Ishmael. I love it. When it comes to the Alliance, okay, and when it comes to let's just say all of this being public, when do you foresee maybe, I don't want to even say tribunals, when do you foresee this happening out in the public, people to see? Are we expecting this to happen in January of 23 or any time between now and prior to or the spring of 2023?
The way things are unfolding, I believe that it's going to be any time between now and the spring of 2023.
Okay.
Nice.
Because we also remember, we're also dealing with different houses, or what they call astrological alignments. So a lot of it determines or is dependent upon the planetary and astrological alignment as well. So we have to wait for that alignment to take place that will totally usher in the new era. And many believe it's going to be between now and the spring. So
I love it. Do it, Alliance. Do it, Soul Tribe. Do it, Ismael Perez. Dropping the hot content here on the Soul Tribe. We absolutely love it. Tammy, if you could send in your super chat one more time. I did not see it, Tammy. If you're still watching, go ahead and send in that super chat for Ishmael. Kristen, do you have any questions for Ishmael as it pertains to these current events happening right now?
Yeah, let's see. I would like to know what you think about Christmas, because there's, talk about Christmas is going to be extra special. What do you think? Is anything, do you sense anything is going to occur?
There could be because people are sensing something is brewing. Like, we feel it. And a lot of sensitive people who really have these gifts are noticing that something big is coming. So as far as it happening before Christmas, that could be the case. Again, everything is aligning towards the spring of next year. But the chain of events that are going to be rolling into that shift of the ages, I would say, will happen by the end of this year. And there was I believe, a video out there put out by a little girl who has, who is a crystal child, who is very tapped into the changes. And her mother asked her, like, when do you think people will see things for what they really are and the truth will come out? And she says, oh, before Christmas, everybody will know the truth. I don't know if you guys have seen that video, but this is kind of a young girl. I think she's maybe 5 or 6.
Wow.
Really tapped in. So, we'll see. We'll see what unfolds.
Yeah.
Very, very interesting. I can't wait to hear it.
I know.
Can't wait to see it.
Mm-hmm.
Ishmael, it's been said we follow the special. I don't know if anyone has asked you this before, but I'm going to go ahead and ask it. We follow the special message board of the 17th letter of the alphabet and the information that they are giving out, their team, the Alliance.
Mm-hmm.
Who do you, in your opinion, is going to send out the tweet, my fellow Americans, the storm is upon us? In your opinion, who is going to send out that tweet?
I think it's going to be Trump.
Okay.
I think it's going to be Trump because there's a reason why he was reinstated back on Twitter. And I think he's gonna from what I understand, he has a huge following on Twitter.
Yeah, millions.
Yeah. So once he sends out the tweet, then that's when we should all expect the EBS shortly after.
Ooh. Yes, let's talk about the EBS, Ishmael. Where are we on that timeline? And if you want to just briefly talk about the EBS.
Oh, the emergency broadcast system. Well, this has been in the plan for centuries. Actually, it goes back to the Saint Germain Trust, and the white hats that are kind of like, how can I say it? That stemmed from the original Templars. The original Knights of the Templars were the white hats during medieval times, right? The enemies of the Vatican, right? The Vatican has always been the core of the cabal, right? Babylon, the second Babylon, all roads lead to Rome. So we could say that this whole EBS has been in design for many, many, many years. And so through Project Odin, I believe, thanks to the good Elon, right? Remember, there's 2, right? The satellites are going to take over the entire airwaves. Radio, television, everything's going to be taken over by the white hats. And then that's when they're going to be broadcasting. And I think it's going to be running like 10 hours a day for the next 3 days. Yes. So that's why they're saying it's best to have like 10 days of water and food because, they're going to be closing everything down due to the arrest of all the pawns and all the different lackeys that have been part of the swamp.
Absolutely. Entertainment purposes only, of course, Soul Tribe, but not really. Stuff is about to occur. We need to be prepared at all levels, our spiritual level, vibrational level, frequencies, as well as our necessities. Here's a question from Carol B. She says, if those of us who have months worth of stored food, should we also overstock with more food? Do you think a month's worth of food would be sufficient enough, Ishmael? I mean, this is just Ishmael's opinion. He is not giving life advice. He is just dropping hot content and giving his opinions on possibly how much emergency food you may have. I think, Ishmael, what do you think?
I say no more than 10 days.
Okay.
Yeah. The mess is going to be cleaned up pretty quick, guys. It's already being orchestrated from behind the scenes. And from what I believe is that all they were trying to do is clean up the last of the underground tunnels in the Ukraine. And also clean up some of the negative reptilians that were lurking in the underground tunnels, which, by the way, a lot of the super soldiers were fighting under the direction of Putin. So, that's what they were waiting for. Now that they have cleaned up the underground tunnels in the Ukraine, I think we're going to start seeing things unfold.
I love it. I love it, Ishmael. Kristen, do you have any questions regarding current events for Ishmael right now?
I think I'm good. I think that Christmas, that was the only one I really had. But yeah, I like all this information. It's great.
I'm going to go ahead. Mm-hmm.
We're ending the age again. History is cyclic. So we're ending once again the age of Kronos, right? Which is ruled by the descendants of the Nephilim, right? The Cabal. And we're beginning the age of light.
Yeah.
Absolutely. We are, absolutely in the age of light right now. Ishmael, do you want to share anything regarding your book or any kind of news or current updates in Ishmael's life with the Soul Tribe right now? And we do have a few more questions, but I want to give you a little bit of time to kind of talk about something that you would like to talk about.
Sure, I know. I'm noticing in the comments that a lot of people are asking me if they're a starseed or what type of starseed they are. Wondering if I could read their energy, if they're an old soul. Well, I can't necessarily see, but I'm just reading the comments. But if you guys want to know more about that, I do suggest that you take my online course, my Starseed Cosmology course. It's under themysticarts.org, themysticarts.org, and that class goes in detail about the different star races, their characteristics, their qualities, the different star races in relationship to the star seeds on the Earth. We go over chakras, dimensions, planetary, galactic, and cosmic history, among many other things. So I would suggest, taking my class, and you'd be able to see where you resonate, to see, if you resonate with one particular star race, or in most cases, you'll probably resonate with more than one, because a lot of us are hybrids. And so, feel free to take the class. It's really worth it. And also, I just wanted to let everyone know that I do have a website now. It's called ourcosmicorigin.com. And in that website, you have all my links to my real YouTube channel, all my social media links. Apparently, I do have a lot of imposters out there.
Yeah, you do.
Yeah, they are Ishmael, but they're not the real Ishmael. That's for sure. And they try to steal our content as well, Ishmael.
No,
We will have every thing for Ishmael in the description of this video, where his website is, links to his book, all of his courses. All of that is going to be in the description of this video, Soul Tribe. So if you guys it was a little fast for you to hear, go back. It'll be in the description of this video. Everything having to do with Ismael Perez will be in the description of this video.
Yes.
Oh, and my new book is almost out, the edited version with the added chapter that's going to segue into the next book.
Oh.
So that's probably going to be out in the next 2 weeks, guys. I'm working on getting that out as soon as possible.
Nice.
So that added chapter is worth it, guys. It's going to explain the future a little bit.
Absolutely. And then also, Kristen has also taken your course and has recommended it as well. She got a lot of information from that. So, Soul Tribe, go ahead and check that out. Go to Ishmael's website, check it out, do your own research, but absolutely worth the content. As Ishmael is dropping hot content again today on Arcana Shores with the Wonder Twins. This is hot content. I don't know if people are asking you these questions, if they have already. I don't think they have. I haven't heard them. This is hot content tonight with current events with Ismael Perez. Yeah. Ishmael, here's one kind of going back about the Tree of Life. This is coming from Absinthe, a.k.a. the Queen of Wands. Is the Tree of Life part of the foundation of youth? And is there a connection to the waters in the portal below Antarctica? I'm finding we have portals that are now closed due to the baddies.
Yes, it is. Yes, the Tree of Life is connected to our youth, our original image that we were made as immortals. Again, going back to the age of Hyperborea. And so what we see here is that the remnants of the age of Hyperborea survived, and that's how they created the City of Gold. And they have been the guardians and keepers of the Tree of Life, by the way, which is connected, again, to the cosmic current that connects the Earth back to the eternal life systems of the Mother Universe. Because at the highest level of the Earth's version or of reality, she is the cosmic Sophia, the Great Mother.
Mm. Cool. That makes sense. I have heard that, and you are very consistent on that. Ishmael is speaking the truth, absolutely, right here on Arcana Shores. Ishmael, we have you for about an hour, so about 10 minutes left. I do want to be respectful of your time. Here's a question from Vicky Coast. I'm not going to post it, but I am going to ask it. If you can answer it, Ishmael, to your best ability, the Soul Tribe would appreciate it. So, have all the children underneath the surface, have they been saved? Or can you give us a percentage of how many have been saved?
Due to the cleaning of what's been going on in the Ukraine, it's at 99.9%. I think they're just about finishing up, and that's why it's been taking long, guys. For the EBS and the transition and the transfer of, again, the wealth from the elites to the people. That's why it's been taking long, because of what's been going on in those parts of the world, especially in the Ukraine. So the job is almost complete. Yeah, it was a process that took many years because we're talking about millions of children.
Absolutely, Ishmael. For those that have been saved, and I work as a psychologist in a school, working with kids, being a school psychologist, working with a lot of different disabled children. In your opinion, what they've experienced underneath the surface, how could they, in your opinion, or what's the plan to kind of bring their psyche, their psychology, their physical bodies to kind of a like just being restored, just at a physical, spiritual level? Kind of what is the plan of the Alliance or the Star Seeds as it pertains to those children who have gone through extremely traumatic events?
They're the children that survive, that are still half alive, that are not dead, have actually been taken off world to different space stations to actually regenerate them and heal them through these celestial cosmic chambers, as well as holographic regenerators, and then of course the quantum healing beds and all that stuff. So they're being taken off world to be generated and to be completely restored, and that is being done through a mothership by the name of the I think it's called, there's a mothership in which they're taking most of them. I think it's called the Capricorn.
Okay.
Yeah. So they're being taken off world into these med beds to be completely healed. So when they return, they're going to be, these children that were rescued are going to be able to tell their story as well.
Absolutely. Thank you for that uplifting message for our Soul Tribe. I know it's a very hot topic as it pertains to the littles and how they're going to be coping. How are they going to be not used but restored? Is the Space Force involved with that operation as well, Ishmael?
Yeah, the Space Force is like the overt name for the Solar Warden. Yeah, that's what the Alliance mostly consists of, is Solar Warden, and then several defectors of the interplanetary corporate conglomerate who joined the light, who joined from the dark to the light, and then, of course, members of the Global Galactic League of Nations. But overall, it's Solar Warden is the covert program behind the Alliance, and then, of course, the overt program is the Space Force.
All right. That makes me feel good. I know it makes the Soul Tribe feel good as well. Ishmael, when they are restored, when they are healed from all of the trauma, are they then returned to their parents? Are they still kind of maybe in a safe, we'll just call it like a safe place until everything gets cleaned up? Kind of like what does that kind of look like? If you can answer.
Yes, they will be returning to their parents. Once the EBS comes out, the new financial system is in place, and everything is safe for them to come out in the open, then they will be returning to their family.
Perfect. Okay. Ismael, I work, and I was having this discussion with Medicine Woman. She is also working with special needs children as well. She and I were talking about autistic children and the different gifts that they have, and how society in this matrix likes to label them and kind of segregate them from the other children. I have an opinion on this, but as it pertains to kids on the spectrum, what kind of gifts do they have that others, let's just call it like in the matrix or in the 3D, can't see?
Yeah.
The autistic children are a gift to this genetics. That's why there is a spectrum. Those that are low functioning is because they're so in tune with the higher dimensions, it's hard for them to communicate verbatim. Whereas those on the other side of the spectrum, which are considered high functioning, are extremely intelligent. They're like the new geniuses. For example, Nikola Tesla was autistic, but he was far in the right? He was a part of the what they call high functioning on that part of the spectrum. Elon Musk is autistic. A lot of the world's greatest thinkers and those that have contributed to the progression of our society, whether it is through science or philosophy or any contribution of that regard, they have all been autistic. So now the fact that they're coming in the numbers, guys, has a lot to do with this new race of beings that are going to inhabit the new Earth. So they're already there. They're already beyond, the rest of the humans. So they are a gift to the world.
Absolutely, and I work with them on a daily basis. So does she, and I know for a fact that not every single one of them, but I'm saying a good handful of them, Ishmael and Kristen and Soul Tribe, they are telepathic. They are telepathic. They are seeing things that other people are not seeing, and I know for a fact there's 3 of them, 3 students, different, one from last year, 2 this year. They are absolutely reading minds and reading in between the lines of the only way that I could think of it is they are reading energy, and they are picking up on different types of energy between me, medicine woman, the teacher, everything. They are seeing things that other kids don't see. And I know for a fact what Ishmael is dropping tonight as it pertains to children on the spectrum, children who are being rescued underneath the surface and being restored. Hot content, Ishmael, coming from the heart, coming from a matter of truth and speaking, and that is why the Soul Tribe loves you. That is why I love you. That is why Kristen loves you as well. And you are here. You on an open mic whenever you want, Ishmael. Arcana Shores, Jason, Kristen, the Wonder Twins, stand behind Ismael Perez 1,000%.
Well, I guess I should just make an announcement to the Soul Tribe that I am going to commit to being on this show every 2 Sundays, every 2 weeks.
I love it.
Jason, he loves it.
Thank you. So, gather all your questions, Soul Tribe, because you're going to be seeing more of me.
Yeah. Kristen, there it is. We're booking it every 2 weeks, Soul Tribe. Unless something happens, every 2 weeks, Ismael Perez will be on the Arcana Shores Soul Tribe Wonder Twins. Take it to the bank. We love it, Ishmael. Kristen, do you have any? I know we have maybe 5 minutes left with Ishmael. Do you have any questions for Ishmael? Any topic, any subject, Kristen?
Well, I was dedicating this hour for the Soul Tribe because I love them all. But I see some super chats up there, so let's let them ask their questions because I always am here and I can always ask, whenever. So let's give them a chance.
Well, I have been asking a lot of questions from the Soul Tribe, Kristen. We do have a few left. Cami G, go ahead and send it in. Put some emojis with it. I would like to answer your question, or at least ask it for Ishmael. I've been searching for it. I haven't seen it. So Cami G, get the attention of our moderators and put some emojis with your questions so I can go ahead and ask it to the galactic soldier and commander himself, Ishmael. Ishmael, I don't know if I want to even touch this topic. This is old news. I think we need to stay together. But Primo has a question regarding Elena Dannon. Do you still want to talk about her, or do you want to just love and light to Elena?
At this point, I think people should have the discernment to distinguish, between misinformation and accurate information. I want to just leave that alone now because,
Okay.
She is working with the team, and you know what I mean? I don't want to mention their names. I guess I did mention it. He's behind Exopolitics, but he's the ringleader. They're trying to promote a sky god alien savior, when in actuality, we are the ones everyone's expecting. It's not supposed to come from the sky. We are it. The starseeds are it. Yeah. And so I don't really want to say anything about her. Just I pray for her because she was taken over a year ago, and a lot of people have sensed that. And I really don't have anything else to say other than that. Be careful with. Again, guys, be careful with those that are promoting Enki because he is the great trickster.
Is he still trying to get to women using men and let's just call it sexuality? Ishmael, is he still trying to infiltrate?
Yeah, he tried, but the Guardian Alliance stopped him.
Okay.
He did infiltrate. That's why the Federation reorganized as the Galactic Alliance. So we are no longer called the Federation. We're called actually the Galactic Alliance.
All right.
Nice.
Galactic Alliance. I love it, Ishmael. Yeah. Angela Manning says Ishmael is Superman. That is true. I can go ahead and say that for a fact. I met him in person. Definitely a Superman, 1,000%. Ishmael, let's talk maybe a little bit about. There's a question regarding. I know we can't give medical advice, and shout out to Lance. Lance is going to be joining us in the second hour once Ishmael departs from the Arcana shores. But Keep It Rational has a question, Ishmael, and if you kind of just answer the best you can. We are not giving medical advice. This is just a family card game show, and we have one of our brother soldier in arms with us. Kristen, can chakra balancing positively affect thyroid function and relieve hyperthyroidism symptoms?
Absolutely, yes, because a lot of the problems that we have with our organs is a result of some chakra not spinning in balance or being clogged. So the more you clean, the more you balance out your chakras, the more you clear them out, the healthier you're going to be. So
that makes sense.
For those that have read my book, I explained it in great detail how all illnesses begin within the energy body, and that's where the chakras are located, of course, corresponding to the spine. But when the energy body is being blocked, or a particular level of the energy body is being blocked, it actually takes effect on the physical organs eventually. So doing chakra work, all that stuff is key, guys, in keeping optimal health.
Absolutely. Any kind of advice, Ishmael, as it pertains to clearing the chakras or balancing them, keeping them aligned? What kind of work can the Soul Tribe do, in your opinion, to get those chakras working in max capacity, or at least the best they can?
Grounding in Mother Earth, nature. Mother Earth is the most healing source of energy that we could take. So take a few minutes a day, 20, 30 minutes daily, and just go where there is nature, whether it's a big park, whether it's the mountains, a river, a lake, an ocean, the beach, anywhere, and just ground yourself with the elements. And that's how you bring balance to the chakras.
Chẳng được quên khi cơn mưa đêm lại về. Em đã quên lời thề và ta như đông chìm sâu. Không còn mới em anh nhận màu. Em chỉ cần mơ đâu em bay. Chỉ còn là những cơn mưa vô giá. Cho bên mơ em không mơ anh. Anh một đêm mơ chỉ trong bên em không được còn nhớ. Và chỉ có em không còn nhớ. Và người ta bên nhau như ngã tớ. Muốn nhớ em say em chỉ có mấy em ở đây. Và anh như muốn chết đi nhưng không muốn em mãi mãi. Tình yêu làm cho ta đau đầu. Không em như mà ngâm màu. Anh như đeo mong cầu. Và mưa bên em hôn sầu. Chắc có mãi mãi mà mơ. Chỉ có bên em nhưng đừng có mơ. Mà đã dài em muốn bên ai. Anh không mong gì hơn. Chỉ mong em sẽ ở đây ôm anh thật gần. Anh chỉ mong đôi ta được có nhau. Mà đừng em đâu anh có em. Một đêm bên nào đừng có em. Ta sẽ trao nhau môi hôn thật sâu. Ôm anh.
Welcome to my party, we're just getting started. A life is a dream or a nightmare scarring. Hand me a drink cause I think I'm going all in. Get me a shrink who can catch me when I'm falling. Cover up my scars, flip the handlebars. Crashing in my car, wake up in a bar. I'll be a superstar, just on my avatar. This world is so bizarre, empty out the reservoir. Yeah, I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? I'm taking 6 shots, yeah, straight to the face. And I wanna get lost, I'm sick of this place. Don't know how to stop when I'm feeling this way. So I'm taking 6 shots till I'm feeling okay. I think I'm going crazy, don't think I'll get home safe. So I'm taking 6 shots all straight to the face. I'm taking 6 shots, are you coming with me? Sometimes you need to let loose, grab juice, get goose, tattoos, taboos, get screwed. Loosen up, buttercup, all those hate comments will never make you feel enough. We're all adequate graduates, heart full of calluses, but we know calculus. Damn, ain't that fabulous? Can't wait to apply all those mathematicus.